I hope you enjoyed your lovely meal. I certainly did. I thought it was absolutely super. I'd like to welcome you here today to celebrate the marriage of Lizzie and Tim. I'm going to cry. In particular, Claire, James, JJ, Chris, Tony, Sally and Katie, as well as their friends and colleagues. Lizzie shows her love and friendship in many ways, none more so than for me. When I was very sick, she not only looked after me for several months, ran the house, looked after her father, all the while studying for her degree. Her thoughtfulness and kindness are immeasurable. Lizzie has been my best friend and confidant, as well as a much-loved daughter, sister and aunt. As she and Tim start their journey into married life, I really only have one wish, and that, Tim, is that your jokes may improve. But seriously, I also want to thank Tim for his love and kindness towards me and for the joy he so obviously brings to Lizzie's life. He would say that Liz does the thinking and he does the lifting and everything jars, but it is much more than that. Lizzie's sense of loyalty, love and fairness is without question. We may sometimes disagree, but our love for each other is in no doubt. Some years ago, she gave me a box. This one. In it were 50 individual thoughts on why she loved me. Only 50, Liz. One read, how much you know about me, and that you've seen both my good sides and bad, and that you still love me anyway. And just one more, because I know you will always try and do what's best for me, and encourage me to do the same. Well, I was told not to witter on, so may I ask you to stand and raise a toast to my beautiful daughter Lizzie, and I'm very, very proud.
I'd like to start by wishing everybody here a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you all for battling through the snow to be here today. Be able to celebrate this day with Elizabeth and myself. I need to say a big thank you to both of our families, from the two of us, for all of your love and support, not only through the planning of this day, but every day. I'd like to thank our mothers, Mrs. Vivian Arden, best mother-in-law a chap could have. Yes. And another, Mrs. Sally Lamper. There are no words, if I tried, I'd choke up. I'd like to thank Liz's bridal party, her matron of honour, her sister, Mrs. Claire Arden Payne. Thank you for all of your help, love and support. Her bridesmaids, Dr. Sarah Phillip, and Miss Katie Lamper, who's headed over the back, someone knows she was there anyway. I'd like to thank my groom's party for making sure that I didn't spend Christmas Eve in the drunk tank. My best man, Mr. Stuart Goff, who I'm going to be nice to because he's still got to do his speech. And my ushers, Mr. James Arden Payne, Mr. Tim Heady,
Wiping off that cheesecake.
and Mr. Sean Barron-Worley there. I'd like to thank all of our suppliers, too many to mention them all here, but everyone has been so wonderful, made the planning of the celebration a real pleasure. Special thanks to our wedding coordinator for this amazing venue, Mrs. Sally Clifford Cox. And our photographer, Miss Carla Bennett. My final thank you for the evening has to go to Elizabeth. For the last year and a half since my proposal, not only has she looked after me, her friends and her family more selflessly than anybody I've ever met, she's also managed to arrange all of this, put it all into spreadsheets and teach me how to open a zip file. When it dawned on me that I'd have to make a speech, it was a daunting prospect. How would I articulate in a few brief words just how much Elizabeth means to me? How would I sum up just what her acceptance of my proposal of marriage means to me? I knew when I met her that she would either be the one or the one who got away. I thought that I'd have to come up with something deep or profound, but the more I thought about it, the easier it became. Liz, you're my best friend and I love you.
It's all done now. Cheers, Tim. Right, so it's been down to me to announce the speakers of the speeches, and now it's my turn, so I've just announced myself as Stuart, the best man. Yeah, I could have played this a few ways really, depending on how the day's gone, but it's taken Tim and Liz a lot of thought and consideration in who to invite here today, and I have to say it's all rather civilised at the moment. Everybody seems remarkably sober, which is kind of say what I really want to say. It's kind of fucked my plans up for my speech. So anyway, I'll start with a simple oi oi, how you all doing? Yeah, so for the ones of you that I know there's some colleagues of ours here, self-employed. For the rest of you that are here on your Christmas holidays, having the time paid off, that's great. But for us not, the fact that we're not earning any dough, it's always good to turn out for a free bit of grub and a drink, isn't it? Right, so with that out of the way, I'm just going to comment on Liz really, how beautiful she looks today in her dress. Let me finish, not just today. Obviously, I'm not part of the bride's party, but back in the early stages of when it all first come about, that these guys were going to get married and that Liz had accepted Tim's proposal, we had a few chats and she did actually say to me, what do you think of this and what do you think of that and stuff. So I did have kind of an idea as to what sort of a dress that she would be wearing today. And she does, without a shadow of a doubt, she looks beautiful. I actually think you've done quite well for yourself, mate, punching above your weight, maybe. And then, of course, we can't forget the bridesmaids. Without the bridesmaids looking as beautiful as they are as well, then today wouldn't have been as special as it's been so far. So I think I've covered that little bit. We'll move on to the bullshit, shall we, that you're all expecting from me. Yeah, so a few of you probably know me as having quite a lot to say for myself. I want to try and keep it a little bit tame and calm because, like I said, it's not so alcohol fueled as I thought it might be to start with, and it's quite a nice, sensible affair at the minute. So here we go. Tim and Liz, how they met. By modern ways and means, back in 2016, Tim and Liz got chatting, one thing and another, and I think what the deal clincher for Tim was that they had this kind of like a weird interest in Sharknado. And Tim comes to me and he says, I'm definitely going to bag that one, mate. Have you seen the film Sharknado? I've got absolutely no interest in it, it's for weirdos only. and I believe it's something to do with sharks falling out of the sky and doing other stuff. But he was right in what he said. He did nail it, and he has bagged it, and he's managed it. So I'll take my hat off to you. But since then, there has been lots of pairs of Converse bespoke made with sharks on the side, and there's been underpants with sharks on and socks with sharks on. So if you all wondered why the theme music to Jaws was playing when the ceremony doors first opens, that might answer your questions there. That's that. I guess that's how they met. That's the Sharknado. Tim, when we first come into one another's lives, I was sort of mid-20s. He was coming through the tail end of your apprenticeship, through working, and then through the business, the bricklaying business. For those of us that don't know me, that's what I try and do. Whether I'm any good at it or not, I don't know. But yeah, over the years we've kept in touch throughout the game, and then 20 years later we've wandered back into each other's lives, as we have, which is always nice. And he invites me out on his 40th birthday. He gives it all to me how he can drink this, and he's the kiddie and all that. He created in a wine bar, cocktail bar, because they had no limes, and then he started giving it to the bar staff in there. There's a Tesco's Express around the corner, can't you go and get some limes, and one thing and another. So I'm hoping you've got some lemons and limes here tonight, in case Tim wants a cocktail later on. My plan was to get the last train home from Ramsgate back to Folkestone, and Tim twisted my arm. I said, no, it's all right, mate. He said, I'll give you a lift to the station in the morning. I think at about 3:30 in the morning, I heard him on his hands and knees making his way to the bathroom. Clearly he's not the drinker that he thinks he is. I didn't get the lift to the station, and I had the journey from hell back, the walk of shame, with last night's clothes on and dirty teeth. That was that. And just touching on the honeymoon there a little bit really. I know they've not got any immediate plans to shoot off on a honeymoon, but I have spoken to Tim about it since he's been discussing his plans for that. And he tells me that Elizabeth would like to go somewhere hot and somewhere that she's never been before. Tim told her to try the kitchen. I won't long out my speech too much today, but there was something that happened this morning which I've had to add in. I couldn't help myself. The amount of times that Tim has... let me just jog back a little bit. We all got ready at Tim's house this morning. We all went over there and had breakfast and stuff. And I just washed and did my thing and brushed my teeth and whatnot. So I'll go back to where I was, I'll move forward. The amount of times that Tim has moaned and whinged about the way that Elizabeth squeezes the toothpaste. Well, I've done exactly that this morning. Squeezed the toothpaste in the wrong place, and I had a bollocking. And I chuckled to myself. And I thought, well, if Tim don't marry her today, on the fact that we've got the same toothpaste thing going on, I'll marry her. But no, underneath all the gags and everything, the moment of seriousness, Tim, yeah, you can be. There's an air of eccentricity about you from time to time, and I have been known to call you a pompous prick. Yeah, you are, on odd occasions, but underneath all that, you're a fantastic friend. You've been there for me, on and off, over the years, especially recent years with one thing and another. It's given me a lot of support, and it's an honour to be stood here today, to be called his best man. The guy has actually got a massive heart, and he's a very dear friend of mine, and hopefully, if he behaves himself, he'll stay that way. I think that's about it, really, from me. I've tried to keep it tame. I was told I had to, didn't I, Joy? So I'd like to thank everyone here for coming today. It really is fantastic to see you all. I hope you're all happy with the food that you've had. I know mine was nice, so I've no complaints from me. And I'd like you all to stand for a toast, wishing the Duke and the Duchess of Bridge a long and happy life together. Cheers! Cheers! And I guess now you can all get smashed. Play up. All right.